Hi YouTube! Today I will be presenting my rebuttal speech for the editorial A New Kind of Warfare. It focuses on the looming threat of cyber warfare and calls for a national response to what constitutes said attacks and establish a chain of command should an attack occur, which happens to be a policy claim. My main claim is that I agree with the argument, but I don't like how the author gives vague facts and blanket statements without any real meat to back him up, which is why I'm going to beef up his subclaims with claims of fact of my own. My first subclaim is the author did not specify what the Stuxnet virus is. The first and most interesting fact is that when the author mentions Stuxnet as a computer virus that did some things to some Iranian uranium facilities. Well, I did some research and I found out that the Stuxnet virus is actually 20 times more complex than any virus code and had an array of capabilities, such as the ability to turn up the pressure inside nuclear reactors or switch off oil processing plants and still be able to tell the main system that everything was okay. Unlike most viruses, Stuxnet doesn't carry the usual forged security clearance that helps viruses burrow into systems. It had real and legitimate security clearance stolen from one of the most reputable computer technology companies in the world. It exploited security gaps that security systems were unaware of, known as 0 days, that can be sold on the black market for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stuxnet took advantage of 20 0 days. My second subclaim is the author did not specify his mention of Syrian cyber attacks. It was one sentence. I did some more research and I found out that though not as brutal and direct as Stuxnet, the Syrian Electronic Army claims on its website that it was founded by a team of young Syrian enthusiasts who did not want to stay passive, quote, towards the fabrication of facts on the events in Syria, unquote. The army has been attacking and defacing Syrian oppositional and, quote, hostile Western news, unquote, websites. However, the IWM, the Information Warfare Monitor, found that some of the targeted Western websites are not actually news websites, but rather non-political commercial websites. My third subclaim is that the author did not elaborate on Chinese cyber attacks on the United States, even though he made mention of it several times throughout the entire editorial. So I researched and found that, quote, every morning in China, thousands of highly trained computer spies now wake up with one mission: steal U.S. intellectual property that the Chinese can use to further their economic growth. Representatives Mike Rogers of Michigan and C.A. Dutch Ropesberger of Maryland, chairman and ranking member respectively of the House of Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, wrote in an op-ed article last month, quote, American companies are hemorrhaging research and development on products ranging from fighter engines to pesticides to cutting-edge information technology, unquote. The Chinese are denying such attacks. Quote, I can hardly agree with the proposition that the cyber attacks directed to the United States are directly coming from China, unquote, General Yang Zhuangli, China's Minister of National Defense, said during a press conference at the Pentagon. Quote, that is something that we have to anticipate and expect. I mean, we're paying very careful attention to China's military modernization, but we've been surprised in the past, and we may very well be surprised in terms of seeing new weapons and equipment in the future. David Helvey, Acting Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense of Asia Security. Obviously a bigger deal than the article mentioned. In closing, I have given solid facts to back up the subclaims the author used in his speech, such as going into more depth of what Stuxnet is, a deeper look into Syrian cyber attacks, and elaborated on Chinese attacks on our own networks. Again, my main claim is that I agree with the author's overall statement in the article, but I disagreed with the lack of solid evidence.